turning up like a car key. I was high, just trying to eat some palm frites. Don't you know I hold it down like a car seat? The R&B, just listening to some Carlton. The city cold, we make it out like it's Palm Beach. Stick it out, so now your ass is in arm's reach. Tell them niggas to flow colder than RC. I got way too much on my mental. You number two like a pencil. I'm number one like.
What's up, fam? Welcome to the show. This is your boy R8RBEAR, R8RBEAR family page, and we're gonna talk this football because we do actually have a lot of stuff to talk about. Pretty interesting. The goings on with the Raiders, the players, and the staff. Mostly the staff at this point, and a few other things. Let me look at my notes here. Yeah, that looks terrible. Alright. I wish I was kidding completely, but I'm not. Woo! Often imitated, never duplicated. That fool with no hair that shouts like Ric Flair. Woo! What? Woo! The R8RBEAR! Raiders! Come on, don't lie. Look, don't lie. I know you're digging the velvet. Come on, tell the truth. Right? Every time I wear this outside, man, Raider fans stop me every single time. Because they were like trying to hate. Like, what are you doing, man? I had one of my R8RBEAR cards. We ended up being friends. Alexa, hush! R8RBEAR Live! First comment, MVP tonight goes to the middleweight champion of the world, who will begin defending his heavyweight belt. Mark Vargas, I think you're going to have a hell of a reign. I really do. I think you're going to have a hell of a reign. And we're going to start it right now. The two-belt champion. Now, you don't have to necessarily retain the middleweight championship, but it's more important that you keep getting your golds. You know what I'm talking about. Speaking of people knowing what I'm talking about, silver medal, S.A. Big Dog! What's up, dog? Welcome to the show. Always there for R8RBEAR and for everyone else, because you know whatever your guy's for you, that's your dog. No. Oh, man, I don't. DPC! David Pell! Kalima! I just wanted you to think I'd lost it or forgot it or put it away or something. I didn't. I got to go get the other one, though. I only had one in here to just get you that one time, and then you started winning again. And so I had to start, taking it out over and over again. Thanks a lot. Oh, whoa, sorry, little bear. All right, moving on. Honorable mention to Ramiro Cashflow Castro. That's my guy right there. Oh, and James and Princetta Walker. Mwah, family in the house. Love those two. Moving forward onto Facebook, where I started it all. Number one, the gold medalist, Carlos Boykins. I love that one. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Look, same offer. You keep winning like this, I'm going to strap that belt around your waist, brother. But there is, maybe someone that could throw a wrench into Carlos's reign. Bobby Raider Ware! Bobby, what are you doing here? Go finish raising that beautiful family. I love Bobby Ware. What the blue Jesus? Something fell. Oh, it was my... Rura! Sorry. That actually shook me up. Lucky Lucky. What's up, man? Although it has you on YouTube, so I'm taking that third place and I'm giving it to Mike Can-Do Henderson. Sup, Mike? Welcome to the show. I can only do that with certain people. Lucky is one of those people. He knows, I got love for him. Other people that watch me, they would like get offended at that. Give me back my bronze. Okay, what's up, everybody? Honorable mention to Jim Garrison. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. And Corinna. True. Hello. All right, so remember, stars contributed to the show go directly to charities all over the world when you contribute your funds to subscriptions to R8RBEAR family page. And we do a lot of work right here on the ground. We give to the homeless everywhere. We work with single moms and so on, and shelters and so on, because somebody's got to do it. And I had someone in my life, I don't want to mention who right now because I don't want them to get bombarded, but I had someone in my life through Raider Nation that got me interested in helping the homeless. And I'd always felt like I had been, you know what I mean? I give to churches, I go out, and I give to certain centers that help with people on the outskirts, and I was asked to do it a different way. So I showed up to do it a different way, and there was like 15 or 20 people of us there, and we fed like over 400 people in one day. And then we came back another day and we gave out personal showers, those ones where you can just fill it up, and it's solar powered on the top, so all you need is a little bit of sunlight and you got warm water. And you should have seen it, man. We had people crying at us, just like blessing us, and it was crazy. And when you see it at the ground level, it changes you. You know what I mean? You'll never be back, or you can't stop going back. You know what I mean? We're can't stop going back. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, welcome to the show. Sorry about getting so serious. Oh, and please, if you would, like and subscribe on YouTube. On YouTube, I would really appreciate it, because up in that YouTube presence, and try to get this Raider news out as best I can. And there is a lot of competition on YouTube. And I'm going after them. Guns a-blazing. Raider Ryan, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Nicholas Maida, what's up, brother? Stephen Shaw, hey, man. Good to see you. All right, what's on the menu tonight? More speculation about Aaron Poo-Poo Pants Rodgers and why he could be a good fit for us. Also, Champ Kelly, the assistant general manager of the Raiders. We have a little bit of stuff we have to talk about with him. Tyler Shaw, could he end up being the Raiders quarterback? And not last but not least, because I have two more. Also, sorry, that's right. I'm trying to read my own writing. The running back, Genty, should the Raiders go with him at 6? There seems to be some actual discussion about this. Yeah. So, not to give everyone a stroke, but but there is a solid chance that we do not pick quarterback at 6. There is a chance. But there's also a chance that Shedeur Sanders is going to be on the board at 6. And as crazy as that might sound, you got a lot of, talking know-it-alls, scouts and critics, that are saying basically that he has enough flaws that he shouldn't be getting picked first, at 6th. In the first round. He's not that good. And when I say he's not that good, they're talking about Shedeur Sanders. Now, there's also a chance that Cam Ward could fall to number 6, because there's growing speculation that the Giants are going to skip taking a quarterback this draft, or a very late round draft. They're going to skip it, and maybe if they do get a quarterback, it would be a late round guy. Now, the reason for this is because they're going to look to free agency. I think they already have a target, and they're going to try and get that free agent quarterback to go there. Now, for example, why not Geno Smith? Geno Smith could just hop right over there. You suddenly have a competent starter for a year or two. He protects your offense and your coach and the owner. Ticket sales still keep running in because Geno Smith's got a big arm and he can win games. So is he a real number one? No. But does he look like it from time to time? Yes. So I think he's got that's the whole reason why so many people thought Gardner Minshew was going to do well for us. Every team he went to, he had those moments of flash where he looked like, you know what, that guy might be a first round, starting quarterback. Not first round, but that guy might be a starting quarterback. And in reality, he's not. Let's see. No, I don't even care about that story. That's the Trevor Lawrence thing. But also with the R8RBEAR, let's just get right to it because I can't stand that guy. Joe Philbin. Now, Joe Philbin has been retained to our staff, and there is now a growing rumor because I always tell you guys, look at what a team does, not what they say. I've told you that over and over again. Don't pay attention to what they're saying. Pay attention to what they're doing. Well, what are the Raiders doing? The Raiders have retained a guy that you could argue is a good retainer, whether or not it's because of what he knows or his connection to. But Joe Philbin actually was the offensive coordinator coach and quarterback guy for the Packers when Aaron Rodgers was there. So he knows Aaron Rodgers very well. So having said that, would it be an even greater good fit? Because there's some people that think it's a good fit. I mean, let's be honest. Most of us are Raider fans. We don't think it's a good fit. We don't like the guy. We've seen he's a bum. But we have to remember, though, it's not what he does off the field that we're supposed to be looking at. You're not supposed to be looking at any of that. And in reality, I've been doing that. I knock the guy for his constant going on about drugs, both taking them and not taking them for vaccines. I grow tired of every 3 or 4 months he's got a new fiance and they all look exactly the same. Or the fact that he has no relationship with his parents or his younger brother whatsoever, to the point when they were caught in the Paradise, California fires, his parents, he didn't call to see how they were. He didn't call 911 and say, can you see if my parents are alive? He did nothing. Nothing. Think about that. I'm super rich now. I don't need you guys. I'll just find a fiance at some point. And you know how bad a person you have to be for these ladies to say no to him when you know you're going to be a millionaire instantly if you get with that guy. And we all know there's gold diggers out there. It's just a fact, okay? I'm not referring to every woman that way. There just are those out there. And you're telling me in 5 opportunities that guy couldn't find one woman that wanted to spend the rest of her life rich? Damn, man. I mean, what's that guy got to be doing to drive a girl away that well or that hard? I just, whew, man. Thank you, Corinne. I really appreciate that. So, yes, there are rumors again of Aaron Rodgers to the Raiders. But again, I always say the same thing. Look at what they do, not what they say. And, of course, if you apply my rule to it, there is some little glimmer of possibility that this is true. I hate reporting that, but yes, there is a little bit of truth to the story about Aaron Rodgers. Because we do have one of his former offensive coordinators, and they did get along very well when he was in Green Bay. Because that was before Aaron Rodgers turned into a nutbag, narcissistic phlegm bubble. Did I say I didn't like him? Raider Paul, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. John LaJoy, I see you there. Antoine Anthony, what's up, eh? Sadly, our assistant GM, Chip Kelly, has moved on. Matt Marinovich, I don't know what was going on there. I know that that's a sign of things. For example, if a guy like Tom Brady comes in the front door, and you know he's the kind of guy that's going to want to say, hey, you know what? This franchise, where it goes from here on out is on me. And we do know that that's happening. Okay, we know that that's happening. Now, we also know that Mark Davis, as recently as a month ago, said, and I quote, I want Tom to move through the organization and help us, set a path toward the future where we'll be winning. So I'm going to give him a great latitude. He didn't use big words like this. That's just me. But we're going to give him a great deal of latitude with improving this team and making changes where he sees fit. He said that. No, not in the same words. I'm not quoting him, but I'm quoting that he said it. He just didn't say it that way. But that means coming right in the door, if he sees a move he wants to make, he's going to move it. He's going to do it. So the fact that we retained Philbin is unsettling, to say the least. To say the least. There's some interesting free agents available right now, too. I didn't understand why we couldn't make a move at someone like this. I like Chase Young, but I'm not a big Chase Young fan, you know what I mean? I think that he underperformed for the Niners, and that's why he's available. Sometimes guys are available not for good reasons. It's not because they just want out of their contract or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, where'd that guy go? Oh, they had him down lower than I thought. No, DeMarcus Lawrence is a valuable player, but I'm not interested in that guy. Charles Omenihi, that was the defensive end for the Kansas City Chiefs. He would be interesting. Hassan Reddick, still got some fight in those legs, I would imagine. Okay, let's see. No, yeah, I'm not seeing it. But anyway, moving forward. I think the idea of what could happen at 6 is intriguing, but the fact that it's even being discussed that it could be a running back blows my mind. Because, I don't know, is that guy Genty with the Boise State, is he really that good? Because you know me, I'm just watching video for the most part and reading reports on them through scouts. I don't usually watch too many college games. I watch some of the big ones, but that's it. I always thought I don't need that to give you information about players, because I do also watch the combine. And then I read reports of what the players or the staff thinks of those players that they had brought in to scout and so on and so forth. And I make a educated guess from there, and as a rule I've been doing all right. Now, as the Champ Kelly thing goes, I think the last word was that he was out and that he went to Jacksonville for a job, but I guess Jacksonville picked someone else if I'm not mistaken. But I just think that goes back to the mom and pop organization theory. I don't know how many of you guys have ever worked for a business that was run by a husband and wife and their kid. It's like their family business, and whatever it is, whether it's computer chips or passing out yogurt. You know what I mean? When you have a family-owned business, there's always employees that are there but would never be able to make it at the same position somewhere else. Now, I don't want to say that about Champ Kelly because I do think he was a professional, but at the same time, I don't know that he has the resume. Whereas with the Raiders, he was already around us. He already had a relationship with Mark Davis, so Mark Davis gave him a job. I don't know if he took that for granted or not. For example, did he learn the position better while he was there, or did he just sort of wing it and ride on the fact that Davis wouldn't fire him? You know what I mean? I don't know, because we all know Davis loves the guy. Loves the guy. Like Jerry Jones level loves the guy. Which could be bad. And we still have to look this guy up. Hold on. We got to find out what's going on with this guy. I don't know. I'm surprised this guy didn't show up on my radar. But, okay, here we go. Hold on. I'm the worst typer ever. Okay. No, that's not it. Okay, there we go. I don't know about with the, well, obviously I know it's not going to be the number 6 pick. I mean, this is a guy, let's see. I'm looking at him right now. 6 foot. Oh, okay. 6'5", 225 pounds. He's got the measurables. Analyst makes case for Louisville quarterback Tyler Shaw to shine among quarterbacks of the 2025 draft. That was on Sportskita.com. Sports Illustrated. Analyst Louisville Tyler Shaw will be the steal of the draft. These are just comments that I'm finding like everywhere. Pro Football Focus, hosted by MSNBC, 2025 NFL Draft Scouting Report. Tyler Shaw could be the find of the draft. It just goes on and on. Tyler Shaw, Louisville quarterback, is gaining attention as a potential standout in the upcoming 2025 NFL Draft. Guys, this kid looks good. He looks good, man. I watched a little bit of video of him before the show, and, man, he looks good. Antoine Anthony coming to Arlington, Texas again this April for the Bash. No, I can't do it, man. There's too much going on here. Daniel Hebenstrike, Raider Bear, are we going to draft a quarterback? Daniel, I think we are, but I'm starting to wonder if it's going to be in the first round. I'm starting to think that it might be just looking for someone in the second, third, or fourth. And then if you do find someone there, then you just work out who's going to be this veteran starter in front of him. And Marcus Mariota and the rumors about Marcus Mariota, there's some truth there. But we have to stop thinking that he's an automatic shoe-in just because he used to be a Raider. It doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? They still have to look at you, especially when you've been gone for a while. It was a minute ago when we had Mariota. It wasn't like it was yesterday. So we got to make sure he's still got his knees, he's still got his legs, he still passes physicals, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Jeff Poindexter, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Antoine Anthony, stop that. No, you stop that. We're all year round, brother. For life and beyond, life, believe that. Walter Ross Sr., what's up, brother? I'm with you on that one. From the basket to the casket. Mad Dog John, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show. Let's go! R8RBEAR! Thank you, brother. Appreciate the energy. Justin! Hey! Justin King is enjoying my show. Oh, and I won't lie. I'm going to put butts in whoever screws up this draft if they do. Bill Cox says, go get Dart. Bill, I'm not going to lie to you. I do hear good things. I do. I hear good things. Antoine, I'm hoping that the stuff about Rodgers is false. But have you noticed there hasn't been a single word about him retiring? Not one person, not even McAfee, and that's his buddy on the Squawk Box for ESPN. You know what I mean? And even no one's even hinting at it. So I think there's a chance he could, because it could make some sense. He could be working with Joe again. They wouldn't mind working, with Kelly's offense, but Aaron Rodgers can work in any offense. If you have the right offensive coordinator, he can keep an eye on him, and the ball's going to get where it's supposed to go. Hi, Tommy. If Sanders skips the combine and all of the pro days, he will fall in the Raiders' lap. Matt Marinovich, that's a good point. I have heard that brought up, but I honestly, when I was in a forum where people were talking about it, I kind of let that one go. I didn't see it. As soon as someone asked me the question, I was just like, nah, we're not gonna do that. No, they're not gonna do that. You know what I mean? I think Shador will go in the top 6 minimum. In other words, if he's there, we would probably take him. But I don't think we would let him get by us at 6. I don't know if that would be business, or maybe Tom and the staff think that they can make something of him. But this Tyler Shue kid, man, I kind of like how he looks. Yeah, and Bill, he can't move. He absolutely is a statue at this point. Aaron Rodgers would need a very competent offensive line. Maybe not the best, but they'd have to be good. And right now, we're still kind of moving pieces and trying to figure out certain spots. Rod says Aaron Rodgers is cool. Does anyone know if this isn't Aaron Rodgers, the actual Aaron Rodgers? Rod, if that's you, come clean. The local news said that Minshew is definitely out, and AOC may end up being the QB2 if they end up getting a veteran quarterback. Yeah, and we did know that Gardner Minshew was out for sure. AOC, though, I don't know about them calling him the quarterback 2 unless they absolutely do get a veteran starter. So just adding to that last part, if they go out in free agency, they can't find anyone, what they'll be doing is they'll be going right back to AOC being the number 1 quarterback. See, that's why I think you should put him at 1, put whoever else at 2 and 3, whoever's on the team, the scout team at the time. And then if you bring in the veteran, you just give him that position and you take AOC down. But in the meantime, you prepare AOC like he's the 1, because what if he ends up being the 1? What if we can't make a deal with anyone decent in free agency and we do get someone in the draft? Suddenly the only veteran available to us is AOC. So see, in my opinion, that has to be prepared for. So let him work with the ones until we know for sure what we're doing. Lance Sanfilippo, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Tony Carpenter Evans! Air Force. Respect, girl. Nicholas would like to add, please, no. Very well said, brother. Kevin Kahu Hano is giving me winks, whistles, and laughing emoji. That's too funny. A film bubble. Yeah. Dem Smoke, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Let's see. Rod says, if he won a Super Bowl with the Raiders, would you still be saying all that about Aaron Rodgers? If he won one for us, well, first off, I would have to say, and that's an honest question, and I'm going to answer it definitively, okay? Now, if he had become a Raider and got a Super Bowl, I would already be in his back. I would be a backer. I would be a fan. See, because if he becomes a Raider, I'm on board. But until he is a Raider, I have to be an analyst and look at his pros and his cons. Too old. He's already now later in his career after giving a ton of football to the NFL, tore his Achilles tendon, which we all know in the past was a career-ending operation and injury. You would be told you have to quit. Kobe Bryant tore his 3 times. Kevin Durant tore his, once. Kevin Durant was once. And Klay Thompson, formerly of the Warriors, tore his famously 3 times. That's right, because he tore it with that, and they tore it in the Raptor game. Yeah. So, I would say if he became a Raider, I've got his back. But if I have a choice, and I'm talking to my audience, and they say to me, Bear, come on, what would you do? Would you pick that guy? And they do that all the time. I would say to you, if he becomes a Raider, I'm in. I'm on board. But, reluctantly. Because I think the guy's a problem. For example, he's been in the league so long now that everyone knows what he's like. He can't hide who he is. So the moment he walks into your locker room's going to divide into those who like him and those who don't. And it's going to be pretty right down the middle, if you ask me. Because he has to overcome more than one thing. He has to overcome the vaccine and the fact that he lied about it and all that nonsense. And the fact that he just seems soft and puts all of his public romantic life out there. It's ridiculous. Greetings, R8RBEAR. I think my daughter loves me. When I got in from D.C., she put pork chops, scalloped potatoes, and homemade cherry pie in front of me. Oh, my goodness. Any woman that would do all that for any man loves that man. I watched GT for many seasons. He is a great get for the Raiders if both top QBs are gone. Romero, that's a good way of putting it. If both quarterbacks are gone, then yeah. But, when is the last time you saw a running back go that high? You just don't see that very often. But R8RBEAR, I trust your eye for talent. So I would say if he's at 6 and we still have needs at running back, maybe you do go there. Lance Sanfilippo, I appreciate that, brother. I'm doing very well. Warm, but very well. Got to take off the velvet. Okay, here we go. I've worked for a mom and pop, best work experience I've had. I got really sick and had to have surgery. They helped pay for my medications. Coretta, that's incredible. And I apologize if at all I made it sound like all mom and pops are bad or something like that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just simply saying if you've ever worked in that environment, it's not like any other work environment. It's very personal. They start acting like your family. They invite you to Christmas things, and and then suddenly lines get blurred between professionalism and work, and I'm just not a huge lover of that. Rez Antonio, you're going to hear a lot of things because they have to keep the story viable. So they'll say someone's going to do it and someone won't. And then they'll say someone will over here and someone won't. And it's about the quarterbacks and the defensive line and who could be the coach. And, what would be smarter? Address a problem with the draft or address a problem with free agency? See, I've always been a proponent of finishing with free agency, not draft picks. Now, the only reason I say that is because, to me, draft picks are always speculation. It doesn't matter how much video you watch on them. There is no way truly to know what you're going to get from a guy when he when he comes out of the combine and goes into the pros. It's just different, guys. It's like saying, and I apologize, please, just for a moment. I'm using an Army, Air Force kind of analogy, but forgive me, I'm not in any way trying to equate football with war. But if a person jumps out of a plane and on the way down pulls his chute, lands on the ground, pops his chute off really easy, just, hits that button and is running. As soon as you do that, you hit the ground and you start running with your machine gun. Okay, that's fine. He can do that. Look, he did it. When he lands perfect. Oh, did you see that? He had his gun and had it prepared, ready to go in less than 2 seconds. All that could be true. You know what else could be true? That he's not jumping into a war area. He's jumping down into a training facility where there's no nervous about getting shot or hearing bullets whiz by you from the guys who shot at you and missed. Explosions and etc. because they're firing, surface to air stuff. Does he do that little fold and land softly and come up in 2 seconds? Does he do that in that environment? See, we don't know. That's what NFL football is. These guys are prepared on a training facility. High school, college, semi-pro. That's all just getting ready for this over here. The NFL, which stands for not for long. If you think you're going to be here, and not have to be in a situation that is survival of the fittest. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was surprised that Amari Cooper's lasted as long as he has. Bob, what's up, man? We going to get Chris Godwin from the Bucs in free agency, and I heard Aaron Rodgers is possible to the Raiders. Yeah, the Godwin thing is just because of Spy, our new GM. There's going to probably be more that come from there over. There's an offensive lineman. Oh, God, I can't remember. Okay, this will be easy for you to figure out who I'm talking about because I can't remember his name. I'm even struggling with what school he went to. I know it was in California, but there's a guy on the offensive line there that he looks like Thor. He's got really long hair, and he's got a really bushy beard, but it's just a goatee, but he's a ginger. The hair's red, and the goatee is red. So he's a ginger. You can't miss that. How many teams even have anything like that? But anyway, there's an offensive lineman. He's a ginger, and he was on the Bucs offensive line when Tommy was there. So the guy's a veteran. He can probably bring a lot to us. Mariota might be reunited with Chip Kelly and draft Dylan Gabriel. That would be interesting because then you have two guys that really understand Chip Kelly's offense. Yeah, I have to admit I'm kind of on board with that. I don't have a problem with that. That sounds like that makes sense, and it does with Aaron Rodgers too. Joe Philbin. Most people don't know this, but Joe Philbin is a very good offensive coordinator and script writing offensive coordinator coach. So he can sit in the classroom with the guys, go up on the board, and coach them up here, and then he can go out on the field and say, oh, look, they're doing that, and design things to beat other people's defenses. So if you pair Aaron Rodgers with Joe Philbin for a second ride, honestly, if you really think of it that way, it sounds kind of cool. I mean, I'm not on board. I'm not an Aaron Rodgers guy. If we sign him, then okay. But until we do, nah. But is the idea of him and Joe Philbin coming to the Raiders on their last chance to do something big together? The last ride. I kind of like the connotations to this. Old coach, old quarterback. Let's get together, show these kids what we can do, and then go win one for the Raiders. I mean, how many times have we seen the Raiders do that in the past? It is the Raider way to bring in guys who might be a little bit closer to retired than at their peak, but still have something left. And if they do, we bring them in, and what happens? They want to give it all to us. The combine is going to be very closely watched. Anna Diaz, I gotta be honest with you. It'll be closely watched, but they're going to always make the same mistakes. I like the combine for what it does. It shows you whether guys have fluidity in their feet and their hips. Can they backpedal at a high speed? Can you come out of the shells and drills? That kind of stuff. That's important. That's about it. But whether or not they can or catch the ball when they're getting it thrown to them by a machine and the ball's going like 40 miles an hour, I don't really care about that. The jugs machine can make anyone a better wide receiver. And for those of you real quick that don't know what a jugs machine is, it's just that machine that has two tires spinning like this, and then if you put a ball in it, they spin it, whoosh, and it throws the ball at hella fast. I mean, running and laterally full speed and catching a bullet like that, you know what I mean? I can get him better at that in practice, so I'm not worried about that. Watch that McNuggets get fired again for trying to root the Patriots. Antoine, you know what? Honestly, Josh McDaniels gets whatever's coming to him. You know what I mean? He gets whatever's coming to him. That guy's a bum. You know what I mean? And if the NFL doesn't know it by now, they're stupid. You know what I mean? But all he had to do was do and call Bob Kraft and go, Daddy, I mean, Mr. Kraft, can I have a job, please? Those dirty, naughty Raiders fired me. That was the actual comment. That was his actual comments. Why does Russell Wilson don't want to go to the Raiders? Bob, I think that there's a chance that the relationship between Russell and our head coach now, Pete Carroll, is as bad as it's rumored. I personally thought the two guys would get past their differences. Most of you that watch my show, you know I've been saying over and over again, they will look past their differences because they had a hell of a combination, the two of them, and they could just walk in the door and make this whole thing work. For example, Russell Wilson needs to get the ball out of his hand faster now. He is not the same quarterback where he can scramble around and get you yards and slide or have this cannon of an arm without a good offensive line. You need him to be able to get the ball out of his hands fast, let him read checkdowns, then go for deep stuff after you've beaten them up back and forth from right to left with the short stuff, over routes from tight ends, running backs out of the backfield. Oh, you're coming up, and then right over the top. He would be great for that, but it really does sound. Reyes Antonio, did he? I'm too far behind the times. Oh, Kappa! It just came to me when you said that, Kappa. But you're right, he's probably too old. But I think the beef between Russell Wilson and our head coach is real. Good evening to you, Larry Brooks. Appreciate the love. Has anyone else tried Charles Woodson's cinnamon whiskey? If you have, make a comment, please. Anna's curious. No, Nicholas, Chip's not gone. Stephen Lee said, I thought we were going to smarten up. You know, the only thing that's smartening up is the dumbing down of Mark Davis. If we can keep Mark Davis out of the locker room, R8RBEAR, if we can keep Mark Davis out of the locker room, less terrible things happen. Oh, sorry, little bear. I got you. Oh, you liked it with the tilt in it? Okay. You don't be about the radio. Stephen Lee, I'm always trying to get the positive raise. For example, I like the fact that right now we are absolutely sure about what Max Crosby is. When's the last time we had a player like that other than like Khalil Mack? You know what I mean? It's just obvious. He's arguably the best defensive end in football. So now all we have to do is pair a guy with him that's just good. God forbid the guy's really good. If we get someone just good, there will be problems because Max is always going to get his pressures, but he's also going to get sacks. But he gets so many pressures, he's always top 5, usually number 1 in pressures. That if that continues, the other side's going to get shots. You know, even if it's not sacks, you're getting shots. So it just bam, 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 and you keep just bashing the hell out of the quarterback. Now, even if you're not getting sacks, he's going to start getting gun shy. He's going to start getting inaccurate because he's throwing the ball with the rattles. I see. To me, that's what's got to get fixed. I don't care if we get an offensive person at 6, and whoever it is, I don't care. I really don't. I will tell you who it is because I always do a draft special. So I'll do my draft special. We'll be there together. We'll find out who our number 1's going to be. But whoever it's going to be, if it's not a quarterback, I could care less. It just means that they have a target in free agency, or they trust AOC to be the veteran quarterback moving forward. And I would too. He's in his third year. He's not a little kid anymore. We've got to stop thinking of him as a little kid. He's not. He's coming into his third year. Okay, he's learned about the weight and how to keep your weight right throughout the season. Because those of you noticed, he was a chubby guy when we first got him, and then he was pretty slimmed down by the end of that second season. So we got to see him now come in, fit, ready to go. If he shows us that when they come in this season, I would go with him. Arnie Garza, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Raider Bear, you just made Grampy choke on his drink when you talked about the Raiders getting Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, I did the same. Troy Gill, what's up with you, man? Welcome to the show. Matthew Golden, wide receiver, Texas. Arnie Garza, I have not seen a lot of the guy. I don't think a lot of wide receivers, period, to be honest with you. Not unless they do things, like Marvin Harrison Jr.'s kid did, and he carries that name. Now I'm going to follow that because you're the first person that's ever asked me for that one. Hang on. I'll look that up because I've got my stuff right here. I want to see what he looks like first. Matthew Golden, wide receiver, Texas. All right, so I'll let that work for a second. Okay, 21 years old. Okay. Good build. He looks sturdy. Good hands. He looks the ball into his hands. That's nice. Watching a little video of him right now. Matthew Golden, Texas Longhorns. Okay. Targets and catches. I'll look at that more. I'll have to look at him more because he's at 6 feet. He's 195 pounds. That's about what I am right now. So if I look really skinny to you, he's not really bigger than I am. I walk around now at about 198, 195, and he's rocking 195 at 6 feet, and I'm 6'3". So that means he'll look a little bit more stout. That 3 inches means a lot. It makes the body, look a little bigger when you're 6 foot as opposed to 6'3". If you both weigh exactly the same, 6'3" guy looks slimmer. Arnie, I like the kid. He looks good, but I don't know. Do you really think that you could go for him at 6 in the first round? I'm not saying you said that, but I mean, otherwise, what round would you take him in? Because I'm seeing him as a second or third round talent, maybe third round. Cody Mosh is named in some school as Trey Lance. Okay, Mad Dog. Hello, Bear. I love you, and Mama Bear. Oh, love you too, Dorothy Bell. We are still paying for McDummy. Both Jimmy G and Adams have $27 million in dead money this year. Yeah, Arnie. I try not to focus too much on that kind of stuff. I report, the contracts and how much they are and things. But then I don't tend to focus on it too much because there's only so much you can take from decisions made over money. Corinna, that would be amazing if Marshawn came back for just like one more season. That would be amazing. But even I don't think Marshawn's in shape. He can't be in shape. He's been doing a lot of shows. He's very integral. He wants you to believe that he's a little dummy, a black kid from the hood, but he's not stupid. He really isn't, and he does a lot of philanthropy. He is responsible for a great deal of philanthropy through himself and his company Beast Mode. Anthony Contreras, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. I'm doing real well. I appreciate that, brother. Bless you and your family. I know there's been a lot of changes with our team, but I believe they will make good choices in the draft and free agency. I love the color of your hat because we will make everybody else bleed next season. Oh, I love that, Anthony. Okay, again, thank you for getting my Raider up. I appreciate that. And I would say I like this. I like the fact that Pete Carroll, no matter where he's gone, he's infectious. Guys like him. He's funny. He's handsome. He's smart. He understands football and can back it all up. And he can walk into the room with a Super Bowl ring. That's a lot of credibility, man. And everyone in the room, including me and you, know what he did at USC. Okay? All he did at USC was just dominate. Did I say dominate? Dominate. I mean, my God, that era of him at USC, that might never be matched. It might never be matched. Now, I mean from when he did it on. There has been some other college powerhouses back in the day. I don't want to discredit the teams from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, and so on. But I think from this point, the era of football where it is now moving forward, it's going to be hard to break that record, what they put up at USC. Aw, you named it Al? I like that. Okay, let me go right here. Where was I? Was that? That was about hiring Chip Kelly. That was about Tyler Shue. I'm going to read some more about him in a little bit. Let's see. Someone asked me a question about free agency. So I'm trying to get my free agency list up real quick. I have too many tabs right now. Here we go. Whoops. No, that's just the thing about... Hold on. I'm coming. Okay, wait. Okay. No, I really... Darn. Okay, hang on. Okay, now. Okay. Good grief. Okay, well, there's a quarterback that I always liked in Jacoby Brissett with the Colts that's going to be available. I would even look at him as potentially a number 2. Give AOC one more season. Have Brissett there because he's going to take whatever job he's given. Jacoby Brissett knows what he is now, so he's going to be what he is. A lot of defensive back and safety help out there. I don't know. How do you feel about Kirk Cousins? Because I like Kirk Cousins, but he could just be another Gardner Minshew at this point. Because I'm thinking of what he's done in the past and not what he could be doing right now, and I don't want to do that. Okay. The pairing of Tyreek Hill at wide receiver with whatever quarterback we get, like if they get Shador and we bring in Tyke and we brought in Tyreek Hill, that would be very, very interesting. And that would be super interesting to me. Big defensive lineman for the Kansas City Chiefs is available. Okay. You always like to take from your rivals because it gives you so much more energy. I mean, information and energy. Keenan Allen. I know Keenan Allen is out there. I don't know how I feel about that. It's always tough when you're getting guys, at their oldest. You know what I mean? I never know how to feel about that. And I know there's some guys coming off Dallas Cowboys are going to be available that could be interesting. But me, I would trade AOC. I'm going to shock everyone because I always back him up. I love that kid. But I would trade AOC. He's valuable now, and you have to be able to do that. You have to be able to part yourself away from personal feelings. Okay, it can't be about what you like the guy or don't like the guy. It has to be about what he can bring to the team. I don't know if I like AOC too much because I predicted he was going to be great, but I think Sam Darnold is a short-term answer to Pete Carroll's win right now philosophy. He wants to win right now. Pete Carroll wants to win right now, even if that just means turning the team around. Not necessarily a Super Bowl, but turn the team around, put a team out there that's going to get double-digit wins. If he gets us to 10 wins, we're all going to bow at his altar. And because it's only going to get better. If he can get 10 wins out of whatever he's built in that short a time, what's he going to do with the whole platter? I could see the same effect that happened with the Lions coming our way right now. And don't forget, too, there was a lot of scouts and agents out there that said the Raiders' handling of Pete Carroll and Spytech and this whole situation is the best they've seen from the Raiders in the time that they've been reporters. Mac or Garrett to pair with Max? I like Garrett, but I think he's going to cost too much. I think that the pairing of Khalil Mack and him would be plenty. In fact, that's not a good one because I don't hold Garrett in high esteem. I realize other people do, but I don't. I'm not saying he can't play. I just feel like I feel warning signs with him. It feels like he'll take the contract with us and he's just going to play out. He's going to care if he does or does not, play that well. It won't matter to him because he got his last contract and he'll be fine. That's why I don't want to sign him. I don't want to sign any guys that deserve gigantic contracts right now. We got to build the roster up, get better players on the team, win right away. Again, not the Super Bowl, not even the playoffs necessarily. Playoffs, but not even necessarily the playoffs. You just win. Just win, baby. Just win. We can deal with the rest later. I would take Mac. I would pair Max and Mac. When is Tyree Wilson going to be better than Kuntz or Chasen? Going to take 2 more years? Arnie Garza, great comment. I don't know if Tyree Wilson is ever going to come around. And I know that he made a handful of plays at the end of last season, or not at the end of last season, but during last season, there were a few games that he came out and he showed, and he was getting there. But, it feels like we want to give him a cookie for just, working hard. It's got to be more to it than that. He's got to make plays, and he just doesn't make plays. We gave him the first year for his foot. Okay, I don't know. He had, for those people that don't know, Tyree had to have surgery on his foot. It was some bone that was in the arch. So really the worst place it could be because your foot flexes every day, all day. Even sometimes when you're not walking and things, we sometimes, move our feet around, in our front room. We start tapping because we hear music and so on. So we gave him a full season to rehab that and get out there. Then he comes back. He's 100%. And he relatively played the same. Was there a handful of plays that he got in last year where he looked like he had potential? Yes. You know what I mean? The only problem I have with that is the system's not the same as it used to be. In the old days, you gave a guy 4 years to show and prove that he's one of the best. Nowadays, you give him 1 to 2. After that, you cost too much for where we drafted you in the first round. We have to recoup that money now, or at least some of it, by getting you off this team because you're not helping us get to wins. See, that's how I see every player. I don't care what their name is. If they're not bringing wins, you see what I'm saying? No, it's not any good. Remember that it was like a decade ago, that guy, Daniel Snyder, he paid for the Redskins at the time to have all these all-star players. He brought in Bruce Smith from the Buffalo Bills when he was like 100 years old, and Deion Sanders when he was 98. And all these Darryl Green and all these other old players. And they just crashed and burned, and they weren't any good, and they had a bad season. They all got hurt, because they were all too old to be there. And he was paying for names instead of paying for talent or the look or the chase for that talent. He was paying for names and putting butts in seats. And that part worked, but they were bad. Wouldn't hate it if we got Mac back. Steven, I gotta say, he's probably the only guy that his whole life, I'm in. He's not, you can't rate Khalil Mack. You just can't. Because he is a physical specimen, okay, of the highest order, and he lifts weights like an Olympian. So he's never out of shape, whether it's during the season, off season, on vacation, doesn't matter. Up here, he's never off. When the off season comes, you don't have an off season. I used to tell my athletes that all the time. If you think of it like an off season, the first thing you do is think, oh, I'm going to eat a bucket of ice cream and 2 pizzas all to myself, and then I'm going to go to Aruba and get some lobsters. And no. What you're going to get is fat and slow. So what does Mac do? None of that stuff. He just trains hard, he eats right, and says, all right, we ready? Let's go. You know what I mean? And I love guys like that. He trains like an Army Ranger, just always ready. Doesn't matter what. You ready? Yes. What? Mac, you ready? Yes. That fast. Good evening, Commander Bell. Welcome to the show. Oh, Kevin Kahu Hano, I feel obligated to put up that post. Yeah, Favre and Rodgers were overrated. That's why it took Aaron Rodgers. They took a loaded team. They carried him to a Super Bowl. And as far as Brett Favre, he won one also. Pretty good team. You know what I mean? He had a Heisman Trophy winner at wide receiver. He had a good running back. He had a great offensive line. I mean, I have a hard time giving you a lot of accolades when you came in and won one real early in your career, right when you went to a championship team. You know, come on, man. And we saw what Green Bay did this year. They took that quarterback, that kid Love that they have, and they made him actually look good. And he's not. But, man, they made him look good. This is another comment I feel obligated to post. Stephen Lee, all of Raider Nation needs a couple of those. Antoine Anthony, we have 29 guys to resign or let them go. A lot of them are on our defense. Got to bring back Spillane, Diablo, Merrig, and Hobbs. I would go right down the board with you on that one. Yeah. Let me see. I'll only do this for a second because I don't want to be looking for this forever. But well, anyway, our free agency list. Okay, I got it. Our free agent list is fairly big, but some of those, in fact, the greater body of them are unrestricted free agents. So if they go to a team, we can match it and bring them back. But you're looking at a pretty long list. Amir Abdullah, tight end Harrison Bryant, who most of you know, Harrison Bryant's actually fairly talented. If we didn't have two incredible tight ends right now, he would probably be starting. Defensive tackle Adam Butler, he's been very nice for us, consistent, not great, not a star, but consistent. Lavon Chason, he's the defensive end we just got in from the Jaguars, and when he showed up, he played hard. I was impressed. He felt like a player that even though he's getting all this money, signing contracts, he's got fame, he really looked like a player who understood in his head, this might be my last chance. I'm making millions to play a game, so I can't waste a second of that. He felt like a workman's man. He just looks like he's a good dude. I really like Lavon Chason. Okay, then Divine Diablo, I agree. Marcus Epps, I wasn't too heavy on Marcus Epps. I like him. He helped with the run, but not so much in pass coverage. But he's a hitter, so if you want to keep a hitter, because I don't know if Trayon Merrick is a hitter. Okay, and then, of course, Nate Hobbs, we're in agreement. Darnay Holmes, I could do without, not because he can't play. I just think that, you have to start losing some people that might, it might hurt a little bit because you like them or they played well for you, but, it's got to hurt a little bit somewhere. For example, John Jenkins, I'd say keep him, but Malcolm Kuntz, wish you well, brother. Terrence Marshall Jr., wide receiver, got to give him more time, see what we have. Alexander Madison, that's a tough one. Alexander Madison showed and proved for us. Now, he was a little banged up here and there and wasn't ever really put on the injured list as much as they had to mix in the running backs for him more because he was getting banged up. But, okay, I got to take emotions out of it. Let Alexander Madison go. And then next is Trayvon Merrick. Trayvon Merrick, I agree. Cornerstone, I'm signing him. Andrus Peat, guard tackle combo. Andrus Peat did come in a few times for us and play well, so you never like to let go of offensive linemen unless you're sure they're not going to contribute, and I can't say that about Andrus Peat, so I'm keeping Andrus Peat. Defensive end Janaris Robinson. That's a tough one. That's another guy that had some plays, but was he consistent all year? I'd probably pass on that. For example, because sometimes you pass on a guy, even if you're not passing on him because he's not the right fit or a bad player, maybe we're passing on him because we want to keep enough money to sign Robert Spillane, who's next on my list. Because to me, you have to sign that guy. And then last but not least, in unrestricted free agency, Cody Whitehair, the guard. And I'm just going to say I would probably keep Cody Whitehair. Okay, restricted free agents. Zach Carter, defensive tackle, probably going to let him go. Luke Masterson, linebacker. They like what Luke has been giving to the Raiders. Every single season, he seems to get better. I stick with Luke Masterson. Isaiah Polamau. Now, if it comes down to a decision between Isaiah Polamau and Luke Masterson, I'm kind of leaning toward Isaiah Polamau. He looks like the kind of guy that's going to become a fantastic football player once he's given stability, a place that says, hey, we know you can kill it, so get out there because you're going to be a Raider for the rest of your life. I want to see that because say I want you to be a Raider for the rest of your life. So get out there and let's get this done. Desmond Ridder, I wouldn't be surprised if he's already gone, the quarterback we brought in. and DJ Turner, wide receiver. DJ Turner might be a keep. He might be a keep, but that's a tough call. Okay, exclusive free agents rights. Exclusive free rights agents. Matthew Butler, defensive tackle. Caillou Blue Kelly. I've heard good things about KY. I'm thinking about keeping Kelly. Linebacker Kanai Mua. I apologize for butchering the Tongan language because I say this name so bad. But Kanai Mua, the linebacker, he's just been off and on and off and on. And it just seems like the roster, they just really like him. I don't know. But does that continue under Pete Carroll? I don't know. But I guess it could. He was playing linebacker for us. I think that could continue. Jordan Meredith, guard. That's a tough one. Let me do something here real quick. I'm going to do something I didn't do for any of the other guys. Let me view his bio real quick. Let's see. Okay, he's in his second year. Well, he's got 2 years. He'll be going into his third. 6'2", 300 pounds, age 27. I mean, because I already know how he plays. I mean, we watched him play football. But, yeah, I think that now he's kind of changed my mind. Looking at his measurables and knowing that he wasn't a great player, but he wasn't bad. So I'm going with Jordan Meredith. Charles Snowden, defensive end, gone. And Sam Webb at cornerback. Now, I'm a huge Sam Webb guy. Love Sam Webb. If you go back and look at his situation in school, when he was in school, he was just like treated like a god. Okay. Alfred Oliva said, "I don't think AOC is a franchise quarterback." Alfred, welcome to the show. And I gotta be honest with you. Most people do feel like the way you do about it. I personally think he can do it, but a lot of people feel more like you do about it. Antoine Anthony, don't know if we should bring back Kuntz since he missed the entire season due to an ACL tear, and he was only average his first 2-3 seasons. So no, that's just a feel-good story. Couldn't agree with you more, R8RBEAR, on Pete Carroll. Appreciate that, Anthony. We're going to spend money on our defense and shore up our offense through the draft. Antoine, I think that's correct, but I don't think it's going to be so much that the draft is just defense. I don't think that. But I do think there'll be more defensive picks in this draft than offense. If that's what you meant, then I agree. Our defense should be good as long as we don't have any major injuries. Agreed. Let's see. A really good veteran quarterback that would be willing to mentor AOC. I like that. Let's see. Where will you watch the scouting combine? When does it start? Oh, Troy Gill. I have a feed where I can get the combine right in my house, and then I set the show up a little differently, so you'll notice I'm not in the studio, and then I just go over it with you guys. I don't know, Bob. CeeDee Lamb. I don't know. He was pretty shaky for Dallas. Nicholas Maida, yes, I do think Brady will work with the quarterbacks. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Because whatever offense we put out there, it's going to be a hybrid of what Chip Kelly's running and what Tom Brady wants to run. Because I got to believe that Tom Brady's going to go into the room with Chip Kelly. They're going to look at what they want to do, and Tom's going to look at what he wants to do and say, instead of that one, can we do this? And Chip's going to say yes. It's not going to be a power struggle there, but, Chip's not going to be intimidated. But at the same time, can you completely argue one of, if not the most successful quarterbacks in the NFL in history? A lot of that was cheating, but he did it, and the NFL accepts it, so I accept it too, I guess. Mr. R8RBEAR, I hope Mr. Moody shows up soon so you and I can put butts in him just like the Eagles did to his dirty Chiefs. He ain't going to be around for a long time. Joe! The Dog! Appreciate the love on the stars, Joe. All right, that's my show. Much love. Alexa, resume! Got to work on my timing. Alexa, play this song from the beginning. Watch it tell me no. You don't have that song, and you don't have that unless you go to Unlimited. Alexa, play Hide by NASA. Let's see if that gets it.
Hide.
Gotcha, woman. I only had to ask you in a different way, and I get what I want. I would say it works like that in my own home, but then I'd have to take a beating because the little one in the other room is Italian, and she's tough. shout out to our armed forces: Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, National Guard, Space Force. For all you do, the energy and love of this show is dedicated to your sacrifice, active and veteran. Much love. Raiders! I'll see you tomorrow. Raider Bear family page. Peace. Wait for it.